9-107, indicate the approximate location of each of the following real numbers on a number line. What can make this task easier? Try to do it without using a calculator. So, what I would do if I were you is I would try to put these in order from least to greatest if you can without using a calculator. But since I'm not there, I can't stop you from using a calculator. So if you are going to use a calculator for this, or you want to, you should at least convert them all into decimals or fractions. I think decimals are easier to compare than fractions. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to list the decimal equivalent. All right, so our first number here is 2/3. So that's 2 divided by 3, because that fraction bar means the same as divide. That's going to give us 0.6, repeating. Negative 0.75 is already in decimal form. The square root of 8, if we put that into our calculator, is going to be approximately, it is an irrational number, but if we round it to the nearest hundredth, it's going to be about 2.83. Negative 9/5, we're going to do negative 9 divided by 5. That's going to give us a negative 1.8. Pi over 3, we're going to do pi divided by 3. That's going to give us, again, if we round to the nearest hundredth, about 1.05. And finally, 2 1/4. If we convert it to an improper fraction, that's going to be 9/4. And 9 divided by 4 gives me 2.25. So now we have everything in decimal form. So we can start plotting on the number line. So you do want to do the original number though for plotting on the line. You aren't going to do the decimal equivalent. You want to write the actual number that was given. So let's take a look here. 2/3. Okay, the equivalent is 0.6, and it is positive, so that's going to be a little bit more than halfway to 1. So we'll put that right here. 2/3. Okay, our next one is negative 0.75, so that's not quite all the way to 1. So it's going to be about 3/4 of the way to negative 1. Again, that's negative 0.75. The next one is 2.83. That's going to be not quite to 3. Say right around here is good. And that was the square root of 8. Remember, we do want to put the original number that was given and what form it was in. Next is negative 1.8, which is not quite to negative 2. And that original number was negative 9/5. Okay, the next one was pi thirds, or pi over 3, which is slightly, ever so slightly over 1. And again, that was pi thirds. Finally, our last one was 2.25, which is going to be 0.25 is going to be 1/4 of the way to 3. So that's going to be right here. And its original form was a mixed number, so that was 2 1/4. All right, and that is going to be all for problem 107.